Welcome back to Omishiroi Recap. Today, I will recap One Punch Man. The story begins with a young man named Saitama. Suddenly, there was a big explosion caused by a vaccine monster. Knowing that Saitama immediately came out of his house to go there. A kid was in the middle of the chaos, and the vaccine monster wanted to kill her, but Saitama came very quickly to save her. Even Saitama defeated the monster with just one punch. 3 years before Saitama became a hero, he met a crab monster. He was looking for a kid with a big chin. Saitama accidentally looks at the boy. At first, Saitama ignored him and didn't want to get involved in the danger. But suddenly, his body moved on its own and saved the boy. At that time, Saitama had no strength, so he tried hard to defeat the monster. Then suddenly there was a giant monster that destroyed the city. It turned out that his older brother, a scientist, had turned himself into the strongest human. Since Saitama was on his shoulder, he immediately launched an attack, but it hit his brother instead. He also blamed Saitama for the death of his brother and destroyed the city until Saitama fell into the abyss. Even though he has become the strongest human, but he feels empty. Saitama also agrees with that and defeats him with one punch. Saitama comes home with a lot on his mind. He gains powerful strength but loses his emotion and excitement when fighting, not even feeling fear when faced with monsters. The next day, Saitama is suddenly attacked by underground people who want to rule the earth. For the first time, they met an invincible human. Saitama also agreed with him because it had been a long since he had met a formidable opponent. The fight left Saitama seriously injured, but he is even more excited because he can fight to his heart's content. He could feel the excitement of the fight again, but when fighting the underground king, a swarm of mosquitoes will attack Z City, and all city citizens are asked not to leave their homes because it is very dangerous to be outside. Z City is where Saitama lives. He is watering the plants, but a mosquito irritates Saitama. On the other hand, there is a woman who is a mosquito monster. She orders the mosquito hordes to suck the blood of animals and humans. Suddenly, a cyborg named Genos appears and eradicates the mosquito hordes. The mosquito monster immediately launched an attack to kill Genos. Their fight was so fierce that Genos lost his hand. Then the mosquito monster becomes stronger after sucking all the blood that has been collected. At the same time, Saitama was also there. Because hordes of mosquitoes filled the city, Genos immediately burned them all until nothing was left. But Genos was helpless and was beaten until the mosquito monster destroyed his body. Genos felt so desperate that he wanted to blow himself up. Before he exploded, Saitama immediately defeated the monster. Because Saitama's strength is powerful, Genos intends to be his student. Genos came to Saitama's house a week later to become his student. Genos thought that Saitama was using the spare part in his head to strengthen himself, but it was just Saitama's bald head. And Genos said that his body was made of machines, but long ago he was human. He also tells about his goal, which irritates Saitama because the story is too long. Unable to bear to hear his story, Saitama immediately made him his disciple. Then suddenly, Genos detected a monster that was going to attack them. The monster destroyed the house's roof, which made Saitama angry. Saitama is trapped underground while Genos fights against the armored gorilla. Their fight was so fierce that it destroyed the house. Saitama fought the Beast King. He launched a merciless attack until it hit his comrades. Saitama countered his attacks with successive normal fists. In the end, the monsters were defeated by Genos and Saitama. The armored gorilla explains that he comes from the House of Evolution and tells everything about his creator, Dr. Genis. Because his explanation was too long, they asked him to shorten it. Ultimately, Saitama and Genos decided to go to the Evolution House. Genos immediately destroyed all the facilities when he arrived at that place.
一網打尽にできると判断したのですが。
They found an underground room, so they immediately entered the place. Because Saitama and Genos had infiltrated his place, Dr. Genos asked the strongest monster he had made to defeat them. He was named Asura. Asura ran quickly and immediately hit Genos until he was thrown against the wall. After that, Asura took Saitama to a room so they could fight. Genos can still move, is launched a series of fire attacks, but Asura can blow the fire so that it hits Genos. When Asura wanted to attack Saitama, he suddenly felt fear and realized how terrible Saitama's strength was. He asked why Saitama could become that strong, and Saitama explained that he had trained for 3 years to become a strong hero. After hearing that, Genos said it was all just normal training and there was no way to become strong. Meanwhile, Asura was angry and he evolved into Asura mode. So that the battle was extraordinary, he continued to attack Saitama mercilessly, while Saitama was confused after knowing that it was Sere. He managed to defeat Asura but was so annoyed that he forgot that the convenience store was having a big discount that day. Saitama and Genos immediately headed to the convenience store, while Dr. Genos decided to stop doing research. A few days later, there is a group of unemployed baldheads who don't want to work and wreak havoc in the city. The leader of the group is named Hammerhead. He intends to destroy the house belonging to Zenaru, who is a rich man in the city. A Class C hero named Mumen Rider tries to fight Hammerhead. Although the citizens cheered him on, he was too weak and easily defeated. On the other hand, Saitama watches the news about Hammerhead. Hammerhead members are bald, and Saitama doesn't want to be considered part of the Hammerhead group. Therefore, Saitama intends to beat up Hammerhead so he can protect his good name. Knowing Hammerhead is heading to Zenaru's place, a modern ninja named Sonic gets a job to protect him. Sonic soon encounters Hammerhead in a forest near the town. Sonic slaughters Hammerhead's member so fast that it makes Hammerhead scared. He intends to run away from there, but Sonic is too strong, and he manages to hit Hammerhead on the head. Luckily, Hammerhead was born with strong skull bones, so he could withstand the attack and immediately run away. When he ran away, he met Saitama, because there was a personal reason Saitama would destroy him. Annoyed that Saitama had called his armor ugly, Hammerhead threw all his might to finish off Saitama. Ultimately, his armor shattered, and Saitama allowed himself to escape. Sonic, who was looking for Hammerhead, suddenly met a bald head. Sonic thought Saitama was part of the Hammerhead group, so he immediately attacked him. Saitama tries to explain that he is a hero, but Sonic has never heard of Saitama's heroes. Sonic gets annoyed when Saitama can fend off all of his attacks, so Sonic uses his flagship move to beat Saitama. Saitama accidentally destroys Sonic's future. He tells Saitama that he will come again to beat him. When he returns home, Saitama is annoyed that the townspeople do not recognize his 3 years of hard work as a hero. He should have had a lot of fans, but instead, he was considered a terrorist due to the Hammerhead incident. To be a hero, he must register at the Hero Association first, knowing that Saitama invites Genos to register together. A few days later, the Hero Association held a registration for those who wanted to be heroes. Saitama also attended the registration. The other participants greatly underestimated him because he looked weak, but Saitama manages to pass all the tests and finish them with unexpected results or exceeding human limits. Genos also successfully graduated and was given the title of Class S Hero, while Saitama only got the title of Class C Hero. Genos felt that the association had made a mistake, but Saitama didn't mind that. Then they attended a seminar with Class A Hero Snek, rank 38. He was annoyed at Saitama's bad attitude, and because of that, he intended to attack Saitama in the afternoon. The next day, Genos invites Saitama to fight. He wants to try to fight Saitama directly. Their fight was fierce, but only Genos launched an attack. Genos asks Saitama to fight seriously and show his true power. Saitama also accepted that and threw an extraordinary punch that made Genos feel dead. When Genos faced his back, he realized he could never match Saitama's power. After 5 days of being a professional hero, Saitama just stayed home because no monsters appeared there. Gino says a Class C hero must defeat monsters or catch criminals within a week. Otherwise, his hero title will be abolished by the Hero Association. Knowing that, Saitama immediately went around the city looking for criminals, but didn't find them because the city was too peaceful. On the last day, Saitama panicked because he still hadn't found the criminal. Then suddenly, Sonic approached Saitama there. He wanted to fight with Saitama, but Saitama dismisses it because he is busy. Sonic also wreaks havoc in the city to force Saitama to fight him. In the end, Saitama realized that Sonic was a bad person who had endangered the townspeople. So Saitama immediately arrested him and handed him over to the Hero Association. The Heroes Association called Z City a ghost town because there were rumors that it was a place for monsters. They sent 2 Class A heroes to investigate the ghost town. When they got there, they met monsters. That monster has strong tentacles. It can beat Class A heroes easily. Feeling that he couldn't win, the hero immediately asked the association for help so he could send another hero to defeat the monster. When the hero passed out, Saitama appeared, who wanted to go home after shopping. Because the monster attacked him, Saitama had no choice but to destroy it. The next day, a class hero found a destroyed building. They thought there was a powerful monster in Z City, but they didn't know that it was Saitama's doing. Since that time, Z City has been known as a terrifying city for humans and monsters. Then a huge meteor will fall to Earth precisely in Z City. The Hero Association calls for S-class heroes near the city to gather to stop the meteor immediately. The threat level of the meteor was Dragon level, which could destroy several cities at once. Genos met a rank 3 S-class hero named Silver Fang. There is also a rank 7 S-class hero named Metal Knight. Metal Knight immediately launched his missile toward the meteor, but it could still not destroy it. Genos also put all his strength into one ultimate attack. Unfortunately, it still didn't work. When they were desperate came Saitama, who immediately destroyed the meteor. Silver Fang was surprised to see Saitama's strength. Although there were no casualties in the incident, the shattered meteor fragments still fell into Z City, destroying Z City. A few days later, Saitama's ranking increased dramatically to Class C rank 5, even though he had saved the townspeople from death. But the residents branded Saitama as a criminal who destroyed Z City. The 2 loser heroes used that opportunity to increase their popularity, but their plan doesn't work. Saitama admits that he was the one who destroyed the meteor. Saitama explained that he became a hero not to get their attention but for his own sake. After seeing this incident, you can be sure that Saitama is a true hero. A few days later, a sea monster appeared in J City. He told all humanity that the Sea King would dominate the land. But the monster was unlucky because he met Saitama, who was shopping. The townspeople who saw the incident confirmed that Saitama did it, but many people thought Saitama was cheating. Knowing the hero has defeated his men, Sea King brings his army to attack the city. A class hero defeats the monster army but does nothing against Sea King. Sea King's appearance caused the Hero Association side to raise the threat level to become devils. They requested the S-class heroes to head to the location to defeat the Sea King quickly. Genos and Saitama are on their way there. On the other hand, S-class hero Puri Puri with Sonic escaped from prison. Then they met Sea King. Puri Puri exchanged blows with Sea King, but his punch was so strong that it injured him. Puri Puri decided to use the ultimate move, Angel Style. Sea King countered his attack with a stronger punch, causing Puri Puri to lose. Sonic also tries to fight him. Initially, Sonic has the upper hand in the fight, but when it rains, it makes Sea King stronger. Unable to defeat him with his bare hands, Sonic intends to go to get a weapon first. Because no more heroes appeared, Sea King wanted to kill the humans who were in the refuge. Although a few heroes were there, they were only weak humans to the Sea King. On the other hand, Mumen Rider is heading to Sea King's place. The association calls him not to go there because Sea King is powerful. Saitama accidentally finds Mumen Rider's phone. After learning the location of Sea King, Saitama immediately headed there to punch him in the face. Genos arrived at the refuge. They fought fiercely. Sea King can heal his wounds while Genos' body starts to break down. Sea King shot acid at the little girl. Genos managed to protect her, but it made his body melt, and he couldn't do anything. Before Sea King killed Genos came a C-class justice hero Mumen Rider.
Justice Crash!
He knows that he is weak, but he has the spirit of a true hero who does not give up and continues to rise to fight evil monsters. Everyone there was moved and gave enthusiasm to Mumen Rider. When Mumen Rider was about to be sent to heaven, Saitama came who was about to punch Sea King's face.
今珍海賊とやらをぶっ飛ばすからな。
Sea King praised Saitama's resilience because he survived the blow. Saitama didn't want to linger in the rain, so he defeated Sea King with one regular punch. At first, the residents praised Saitama's greatness, but someone badmouthed Saitama. C-class heroes should have no way of defeating that monster. A class and S-class heroes can't beat the monster, so Saitama is thought to take the most advantage. Even though the citizens do not recognize it, Saitama does not care about their words and continues his hobby as a hero. A few days later, the Hero Association summoned Saitama, and Saitama was upgraded to a B-class hero. On the other hand, the second-rank S-class hero named Tatsumaki is fighting a gigantic monster. While fighting, she was asked to return to the Hero Association headquarters to gather with other S-class heroes. Tatsumaki immediately annihilated the monster by dropping Meteor. Saitama and Gino stopped by Silver Fang's place. He wanted to invite Saitama to register at his dojo. Silver Fang also plays rock paper scissors with them. Even though Saitama is powerful, but Silver Fang can hit him faster. His bald head wanted to explode, and he got the chance to hit Silver Fang. Not wanting to die, Silver Fang immediately dodged the attack. Suddenly there was a message from the Hero Association asking S-class heroes to gather at the headquarters. When they arrived at the base, Tatsumaki underestimated Saitama and wanted to kick him out.
ちょっと誰よ B 級の雑魚なんて連れてきた不愉快消えて
なんだこの生意気な。迷子
Saitama ignored her words and immediately headed to the meeting room. The 17 S-class heroes gathered there. They were people of strong power who the Hero Association trusted. However, two people were absent, Metal Knight and S-class hero 1 Blast. A fortune teller has predicted that the Earth will be in danger for 6 months. There will likely be powerful monsters or huge threats on par with God-level threats. For that, they ask all S-class heroes to prepare for battle when that day comes. Then suddenly, a starship appeared, which instantly destroyed a city. Feeling a big explosion, Saitama immediately came out of that place and saw a starship floating there. While other heroes were fighting powerful monsters in a city, Saitama had already infiltrated and destroyed the starship. Silver Fang, along with the others, continued to launch their attacks, but the monster was able to regenerate. An alien asked him to return to the ship to defeat Saitama first, but unfortunately he couldn't return because the S-class heroes kept attacking him. He asked to use bombardment to kill all the S-class heroes. Metal Bat manages to find a crystal ball in the monster's body. It turns out that it is its weakness. If it is destroyed, then the monster will disappear. But they were too late because the bombing had already started.
お返しするわ
Luckily Tatsumaki was there. She was able to control all the bombs and return them to the ship, which was very badly damaged. While Saitama manages to get into the ship's control room and meets an alien with telekinetic abilities and can control gravity. After receiving all the attacks, Saitama was not injured at all. He countered the attack by throwing small stones. After that, Saitama headed to the ship's leader. His name was Burroughs. Burroughs is very strong. He constantly destroys planets and gets bored because no one can beat him. One day, a fortune teller says he will meet a powerful person. Burroughs believes in the prophecy and scours the universe to find the person.
俺のせいに刺激を与えてくれ。
Saitama immediately punched Burroughs until the armor that suppressed Burroughs' power shattered. He put all his power into a serious fight against Saitama. On the other hand, the Atomic Samurai chops the monster's body while Silver Fang destroys the last crystal ball in the monster's body. Tatsumaki throws building debris to destroy the starship. Saitama admits Burroughs is very strong. They fight each other and destroy the objects around them. Burroughs was pleased because, for the first time, there was someone who could survive all of his attacks. Then Burroughs releases the energy in his body to strengthen himself, and his speed and strength exceed the capabilities of living things. So that Saitama was thrown to the moon, but Saitama can return to Earth by relying on his strength. Burroughs was surprised to see Saitama not hurt at all. Therefore he absorbed all the energy in the ship to launch the strongest attack that could destroy the Earth. Seeing Burroughs put out all his strength, Saitama decided to issue his serious punching move.
必殺マジシリーズ マジ殴り
While Burroughs could still speak after being defeated by Saitama, Saitama thinks Burroughs is the strongest opponent he has ever fought, but Burroughs is dissatisfied because Saitama has yet to use all his power in that fight.
お前は強すぎた埼玉
After Burroughs was defeated, the spaceship was destroyed and fell to the ground. A few moments later, Saitama came out of the starship, and Tatsumaki saw that. She questioned why Saitama could be there, but Saitama ignored it, which annoyed Tatsumaki.
おいクソガキ黙ってうるせろぶちのめすぞいいぞいいぞ
Silverfang immediately stopped Tatsumaki, so there was no fight there. A few days later, the Hero Association headquarters was rebuilt to be stronger, and its roads connected to the rest of the city. Class and S heroes are allowed to live in the Hero Association. A few months after Saitama managed to defeat Burroughs, Saitama felt bored because he had not met a monster equal to himself. On the other hand, a lizard monster was making a fuss in the city. Unexpectedly, there was an S-class hero there. He is king and dubbed as the strongest hero. He let out a terrible sound called King Engine. The sound scared the monster and apologized to him.
この度は誠に申し訳ございませんでした
この変態最低
When Saitama and Genos were shopping, they saw King walking alone. Suddenly there was a strong robot approaching him. A scientist sent the robot to research King's strength. But King has a big secret that he is just an ordinary person.
俺は強くなんてない無職でオタクで引きこもりなだけの29歳だごめんよ
Because of fear, King ran away while Genos fought the robot alone. Even though the robot has a powerful weapon, Genos can melt its iron body with a strong fire blast. A small pilot was coming out of the robot's body. He launched a laser attack to destroy the surrounding area. Genos found a way for the attack and defeated the robot alone.
俺は奴より強い男を知っている
King arrived at his apartment and decided to calm down by playing a game. He was surprised that Saitama was behind him. It turned out that Saitama came in through a window on the 22nd floor.
お兄ちゃん名前を決めて
名前か。
キングでいいんじゃね
さすがに、キングお兄ちゃんなんて誰かに。
Saitama asked why King was running away from the robot. King didn't answer and continued his game. Suddenly a giant crow came crashing into his apartment. Saitama asks King to fight the monster. Unfortunately, King is just an ordinary person, and beating the monster is impossible.
俺は実はその話マジかよ強い評判も経歴も全部嘘だったって
He revealed that he had lied and realized that he had taken away Saitama's achievements as a hero. Every time Saitama defeats a monster, King happens to be there too. So the Hero Association thinks King defeated the monster. Saitama wasn't angry and advised King that if he didn't want to quit being a hero, he had to become stronger. Since then, Saitama and King have become friends. On the other hand, the Heroes Association gathers all the villains to help defeat the monsters because the threat of monsters is increasing daily. Sonic wasn't interested in that nonsense. He just wanted to find a Saitama home. After getting that information, Sonic rushed to Saitama's home. When the Hero Association gathers villains to work together to defeat monsters, there is someone challenging everyone there. He wants to prove who is the strongest among them.
強えやつ強えんだよバカ
He easily defeated 3 A-class heroes and even all the criminals there. He declared war on the heroes. He named Garu, a former student of Silverfang. Genos felt someone approaching at high speed. Since Saitama is busy playing games, Genos fights the guy himself. It turns out that he is Sonic who wants to fight Saitama. Of course, Genos couldn't let it, and they fought each other. At the same time, a first-rank B-class hero named Fubuki offered Saitama to join her group. Of course, Saitama refused Fubuki's invitation because he didn't want to become her subordinate.
もう一切のヒーロー活動ができないように痛めつけてあげなさい
Because 2 of her members have been defeated, Fubuki decides to destroy Saitama with the power of psychokinesis. While dodging attacks from Fubuki, Saitama advises her if she doesn't understand the meaning of being a hero and says that Fubuki underestimates heroes too much.
お前はヒーローを分かってな自分より弱い手下を集めて強くなった気でいるお前には無理だいつか泣かされるヒーローなめんじゃねえぞこの野郎
Feeling annoyed, Fubuki intends to kill him by splitting the ground and using a knife to slash his neck. At the same time, Genos and Sonic collided with them. Saitama protected her from the explosion. Otherwise, Fubuki might have died. Fubuki is surprised to learn that Genos, the S-class hero, becomes Saitama's student who is a B-class hero. Sonic and Genos continue their fight. Genos moves quickly and launches a deadly attack on Sonic.
このクソ油断したら音速のソニックマシンガンブロー
However, Sonic could dodge all his attacks and started to get serious by showing super speed movement techniques. In the end, Saitama stopped their fight because he didn't want the area where he lived to explode. Since he's stubborn, Saitama decides to take him seriously. Sonic showed the ultimate technique he had been training for all this time. He could release 10 super speed shadows with killing intent. Saitama also did the same thing, and the attack beat Sonic.
必殺マジシーンマジ反復横跳び
Seeing this, Fubuki thinks Saitama is too strong and isn't an ordinary human. Then Fubuki explained that she is the younger sister of Tatsumaki and has the ambition to become number 1. Because of that, she stays in B-class rank 1 and controls B-class heroes to surpass Tatsumaki. King suddenly came to Saitama's place. Of course, Fubuki was surprised that B-class heroes could be friends with S-class heroes. Since then, Fubuki felt like joining them.
なんで S 級が B 級なんかと楽しそうに。私も仲間に。
なぜなら強いから
A week later, Silverfang beat Chirenko and kicked him out of the dojo. Chirenko also met Saitama to tell him about this. He felt Silverfang's behavior was bizarre. Genos explains that a former Silverfang student named Garu has been designated as a wanted. Even Silverfang volunteered to defeat Garu. When Chirenko returns home, he sees Garu fighting Mumen Rider alongside an S-class hero named Tank Top Master. Even though Tank Top Master battered him, Garu has yet to show his true power. Garu mastered the same martial arts technique as Silverfang. He easily countered Tank Top Master's attacks to the point of immobilizing him. In the end, everyone there was slaughtered by Garu.
ここで消えてなくなる
The next day, Silverfang and his older brother Bomb saw the massacre. Silverfang was surprised to see Chirenko there too. After that, Saitama visited Mumen Rider with Tank Top Master at the hospital. He explains Garu the hero hunter to Saitama. When monsters fight, they rely on physical power to attack ferociously. Unlike Garu, he has a technique to paralyze humans. It was certain that he knew how to beat heroes. After hearing that, Saitama became interested in martial arts. Chirenko also gave him a martial arts tournament ticket. Saitama seemed interested in a sizable prize if he won. On the other hand, Garu meets a little boy reading a hero book. His name is Taro. Even though Garu always beats heroes mercilessly, but he is kind to children. With Taro's hero book, Garu learns about the hero's powers and whereabouts. He immediately met the A-class hero Golden Ball. Although he was in a narrow place, Garu easily dodged all the attacks.
必殺ゴールデンブレイクアウト
Other A-class heroes come to help Golden Ball, but their strength cannot defeat Garu. In the end, they were beaten mercilessly. While walking in town, the director of the Heroes Association offers a beautiful girl to meet A-class hero Ami Mask, provided they kiss her on the cheek. Garu, who happened to be there, happily gave a kiss.
ほっぺにチューしてくれたらな俺にも合わせてくれほっぺにチューしてやるからよ
Then Garu accidentally meets Saitama. He thought that Saitama wanted to catch him. Therefore Garu attacked him hard, but Saitama countered the attack until Garu fainted.
誰だてめえ厚上げする気か物の邪魔すんな
The next day Garu wakes up in a dumpster, and he has no recollection of last night's events. The martial arts tournament begins. There are new rules if someone replaces or impersonates someone else. Then it will be subject to severe penalties and may not participate in tournaments for life. Previously, someone disguised himself as someone else and won the tournament. That person is Garu. He assumes the identity of Wolfman to win the tournament. On the other hand, the S-class hero Metal Bat is escorting the Hero Association executive. Suddenly, a monster that intends to kidnap an executive member of the Hero Association appears. Metal Bat tries hard to protect them until he finally can defeat the monster. But a giant monster named Elder Centipede appeared in the middle of the city. Only an S-class hero named Blast whoever defeated that monster. Even though Metal Bat doesn't give up and keeps throwing attacks at him, unfortunately, his attack doesn't work, so he is thrown very far and meets Garu. Garu was very excited when he met an S-class hero and immediately challenged Metal Bat to fight him. Even though Metal Bat has lost much blood, he still fights. Every time he gets hit, it makes him stronger. But Garu, with his martial arts techniques, managed to paralyze Metal Bat.
一発でもまともにもらったらやばかったかもな
お兄ちゃんバットお兄ちゃん
When Garu was almost killed by an attack from Metal Bat, suddenly, his younger sister came to stop their fight. Whereas Garu didn't want to hurt a child, so he left from there. Then the monsters meet Garu. He invites Garu to join the Monster Association with them. but Garu refuses the invitation. The monsters have managed to kidnap the Hero Association's executive child, so they quickly leave there while Metal Knights follow the monsters. On the other hand, there is chaos in various cities because powerful monsters appear simultaneously. The A-class heroes had a hard time fighting them. The incident put the Heroes Association in trouble as they lacked the troops to fight the monsters. The martial arts tournament has started, and Saitama is considered a weak participant with no chance of winning. When the fight started, Saitama easily beat his opponent with one punch. Tsuryu, who saw the fight, confirmed that Saitama was powerful, so he guessed his final opponent would be Saitama. The next match was Lightning Max against Tsuryu. He easily defeated his opponent with a single kick. That made all the spectators cheer because he was a powerful martial artist. While the tournament was in progress, Genos received information that 5 monsters were roaming around the place. He immediately eradicated the monsters so that the tournament would not be stopped. After successfully defeating 4 monsters, Genos met a strong monster. The monster is so fast that it makes it difficult for Genos to launch an attack. Genos also uses a super strong adhesive to stop the monster's movement. With that, Genos can destroy it. But a powerful monster suddenly attacked him, and it seriously injured Genos. Then Saitama's second fight. He will fight the tournament winner 2 times in a row named Bakuzan. Knowing Saitama is an amateur in martial arts, Bakuzan intends to teach him how to fight. Because Bakuzan touched his head, Saitama immediately punched him out of the arena. In the end, Saitama passes to the next round. On the other hand, Fubuki and her members fight monsters. She has a whip that can control one's mind, so that she easily controls Fubuki's members. Even though a whip hits Fubuki, she has strong determination and can counter her attacks. Then there was a terrifying figure that monsters feared came there. She was Tatsumaki. Sensing that her younger sister had been injured, Tatsumaki immediately came to exterminate the monster. Unfortunately, the monster managed to escape. Tatsumaki advises Fubuki to stop gathering weaklings and disband the group because it will get her in trouble one day. On the other hand, Metal Knight has been captured by the monster, and in front of him is the king of the monsters named Orochi. It was certain that he was the strongest monster in the Monster Association. The monsters wreak havoc in cities because the A-class heroes can't beat them. The S-class heroes started to move to eradicate all the monsters. There is also a 13th rank S-class hero named Flashy Flash, who fights against giant monsters with super speed, making other heroes admire him. But Tatsumaki came and immediately annihilated the monster with her psychokinesis power, so that made Flashy Flash upset because Tatsumaki had taken his prey. On the other hand, the S-class hero named Atomic Samurai is meeting with the Divine Sword group to hunt down Garu, but one of them offered him a monster cell and suggested they become monsters like himself, otherwise he would kill them. Unfortunately, he was immediately killed by an Atomic Samurai attack. The final round of the martial arts tournament begins. Tsuryu explains that the goal of participating in the tournament is to find strong opponents. Whereas Saitama wanted to experience martial arts, he was disappointed because his opponent was defeated with just one punch. But Saitama feels that Tsuryu might be able to fulfill his wish. Tsuryu immediately launched various attacks on him. Saitama always dodged the attacks and protected his head so his wig would not fall off. Knowing Saitama works as a hero makes Tsuryu disappointed. Tsuryu dislikes heroes. He also looks down on heroes. To him, heroes only show off that they are enforcers of justice, but they are just a group of weak people who will not be able to protect the world. Hearing that annoyed Saitama, he also gave him one piece of advice. At the same time, Saitama's identity is exposed, thus disqualifying him from the tournament. Tsuryu felt annoyed and immediately put out his full power to beat Saitama. Even though he had performed various martial arts techniques, it was a pity that those attacks could not injure him. In In the end, Saitama doesn't know anything about martial arts and accidentally throws Suryu out of the arena with his butt. After that, Saitama immediately ran away, while Suryu was shocked because it was the first time he had lost. A group of monsters came to the arena led by Gaoketsu. He used to be the winner of the first martial tournament, but he became a monster and one of the higher-ups in the Monster Association. He ordered the martial participants to eat the monster cells, otherwise, he would kill them. The weak participants decided to obey his orders and became monsters. Among them is the most powerful monster, and Suryu decides to fight against it. This time Suryu fought seriously because his opponent was powerful. Even though he managed to beat that person, Suryu was powerless against Gaoketsu. His attacks didn't work at all. Even Gaoketsu treated him like a puppet. In the end, Suryu was seriously injured, while the others fainted. At that moment, Suryu realized how terrifying the monster's power was and intended to escape. He asks for Bakuzan's help so he can fight the three monsters. Unfortunately, Bakuzan refused. He preferred to become a monster to become stronger. Then came a class heroes who were willing to help Suryu. After defeating the three monsters, the hero restrains Gaoketsu so Suryu can escape. He was also amazed by the determination of a hero who was not afraid at all, while he was more substantial than them and even ran away in fear. Bakuzan has become a powerful monster with a dragon-level threat. Gaoketsu also asked him to come to the Monster Association headquarters, but he wanted to torture Suryu first. A helpless Suryu turned to the heroes for help. Before, he always looked down on heroes, but now he screams for help so that heroes save him. When Suryu was desperate, a true hero came to save him.
Hero, やっているものだ。助けを呼ぶ声、聞こえたぜ、水流。あとは任せとけ。
Saitama came so cool that Suryu was amazed by him. Saitama feels he has met Bakuzan, so he tries to remember it.
ダメだ、思い出せねえ。なんだったんだこいつ。まあいいや。
Suryu is very grateful to Saitama for saving his life. He also asks Saitama not to go outside because powerful monsters were nearby. He is Gaoketsu. Feeling curious about Gaoketsu's power, Saitama decided to meet him. Suryu tried to stop him. He had just met a real hero and didn't want the hero to die.
本物のヒーローの姿を見たっていうのに。
Suddenly Gaoketsu's head fell right in front of Suryu. It turned out that Saitama himself had defeated him. Since then, Suryu has found a new purpose to become a hero like Saitama. Therefore he wanted to become Saitama's apprentice to become stronger, but Saitama refused. Moments later, the monsters had disappeared altogether. At the same time, Saitama meets King. They talked about the meaning of heroes, and King managed to provide new inspiration for Saitama so he wouldn't get bored living his life as a hero. Having been defeated by the S-class hero, Watchdog Man left Garu badly injured, but he feels the lessons learned from that fight made him stronger. Incidentally, he saw King, and without further ado, Garu immediately attacked him.
たく怪人だけじゃなくてあんなチンピラまで相手してたらキリねえな。
For the second time, Saitama hits Garu, knocking him unconscious. Saitama is quite interested in Garu the hero hunter and wants to fight him, but he didn't realize that the person he kicked earlier was Garu. Because Saitama felt bored, King invited him to play a game together. King is powerful when playing games. Using only 2 fingers, he can beat Saitama easily. On the other hand, there is an intruder from the Monster Association. He declares war on the Hero Association. Because the monsters have taken the child of the executive member hostage, they decide to save the child. The Hero Association gathered the strongest heroes within 3 days to attack the Monster Association headquarters in Z City. The military advisor from the Monster Association asks them all to submit to Orochi, but most of them do not want to do that. Ruthlessly, Orochi kills useless, weak monsters. Seeing that makes the other monsters fear, but other monsters intend to defeat Orochi so that he can become the leader of the Monster Association. The next day, news of the Monster Association's war against the Heroes Association spread across social media. That makes the people afraid and hope the heroes can win the war. At the same time, Saitama was surprised because, on that day, he met many monsters in Z City.
どうも怪人多いな。こいつらもしかして俺に会いに来てんのか？
Garu just woke up after being seriously injured by Saitama's kick. He decided to hide in a hut in the forest to recover. Tero's friends ask him to expel someone who has seized their secret base. Tero was surprised that the person was Garu. Knowing that Tero is always being pushed around by his friends, Garu advises him to become stronger. Suddenly, the A-class hero Death Gatling discovers Garu's hideout. he gathers the A-class heroes to capture Garu. Knowing heroes surrounded him, Garu borrowed Tero's book to learn about their powers. He asked Tero to hide there while he fought the hero. Of course, Garu has a hard time because he is already seriously injured and unable to fight them simultaneously. In the end, Garu was poisoned and almost lost his consciousness. Even when cornered, Garu doesn't give up. He always reads their movements and analyzes them to launch a counterattack. So he managed to turn things around by defeating 4 heroes at once. A hero named Glasses tries to punch Garu. He remembers his encounter with the strongest hero Saitama. Even though he was desperate because he realized he was frail, Saitama's words motivated him, and he wanted to become a hero like him.
限界は何をもって誰が決める？挫折してる暇があるなら前に進んだ方がいいぜ。
Unfortunately, Garu was much stronger than him. In the end, only death gatling remained. Garu said a small child was in the hut and advised him not to shoot there. He didn't believe Garu's words, so he used all his bullets to kill Garu.
よく見とけ。怪人が勝つ瞬間を。デスシャワー。
Unexpectedly, Garu could survive the deadly attack, and Tero's life was successfully protected. It turned out that Death Gatling was the most obsessed with rankings, so he was reluctant to ask S-class heroes for help. If only he had invited an S-class hero, the situation might have been different. After all the heroes have been defeated, Gino suddenly comes to see Garu. It turns out that Glasses has summoned reinforcements so that the S-class heroes come to the scene. Garu, who was already overwhelmed, certainly made it difficult to survive Gino's attacks. He also realized that Garu's power was amazing. He could learn fighting techniques quickly. Garu imitates the watchdog man's movements and manages to destroy his hand. However, Gino's is stronger than before. He has prepared many things and will not let his guard down even if the monsters come to help Garu. When Gino's wanted to exterminate him, Silverfang and his brother suddenly came. Thus began a fierce battle between teachers and students. Silverfang launched attacks mercilessly at Garu, causing Garu to almost faint. The two took Garu very seriously and even intended to kill him immediately. At the same time, Garu was reminded of his past. His more popular classmates always bullied him. Even he is always blamed even though he tries to convey the truth. Feeling that there is no justice, Garu is furious, and he wants them to taste the backlash from the weaklings. When Garu started berserk, suddenly, a giant bird took him away. Genos launched a lethal attack so they couldn't escape, but Elder Centipede blocked the deadly shot unscathed. So Garu managed to escape while they tried to save the A-class hero who fainted. Silverfang and Bong worked together to launch their strongest attack to destroy the Elder Centipede's shell. Even though it managed to destroy its body, Elder Centipede shed his skin, leaving him completely unharmed. Genos tried to burn his insides. Unfortunately, the explosion still wasn't enough to defeat him. When Silverfang intends to use all his strength, King suddenly says he is with an S-class hero, Blast. He has a personal vendetta against Blast. When the enemy panicked hearing the King engine, it was then that King panicked more than his opponent. As planned, King distracts him while Saitama gives the final blow to annihilate Elder Centipede. The battle had ended with a single blow, and that is the end of the video. Remember to subscribe and like this video, so see you in the next video.